Before this day ends, I want you to hear my voice, not as noise, not as background, but as life. This is not a coincidence. This moment, right now, is a divine appointment. I brought you here because I have something to say, just to you. So don't skip. Don't scroll. Just listen. I am here, and I'm speaking.
My beloved child, come closer. Before the noise of the world floods your thoughts, before your mind rushes toward unfinished plans and unresolved burdens, pause. Be still for a moment. I have longed for this encounter with you, longed for the stillness of your heart where my voice can be heard clearly. You may not have realized it, but I've been preparing this moment from eternity. You are not here by chance. Every second of your life is known to me, and this very breath you take is wrapped in my purpose. You've questioned why your journey has been so difficult. You've wondered if the silence in your storms meant I turned my face away. But hear me, I have never left your side, not for a moment. Even when pain blinded your eyes with tears, even when disappointment sat heavy on your chest like a stone, my hand was beneath you, holding you. My love surrounded you, not in words alone, but in ways you couldn't yet perceive. And now, as you hear this, something begins to stir within you. Not just hope, but the recognition of my presence that's never faded. Let me tell you something holy and unshakable. The battle you are in is already known to me. Every weapon raised against you, every whispered lie meant to fracture your faith, every shadow cast by fear, it's all under my authority. Do not be afraid. The trembling of your heart does not disqualify you. The doubts you carry are not hidden from me, and still, I choose you. Still, I call you mine. Victory is not a wish I place in your hands. It is a promise. One carved from the foundation of the world, sealed by my blood, confirmed by my spirit, and destined to manifest in your life. You may have heard voices that speak of failure as your identity, of regret as your future, of loss as your fate. But I do not speak like them. I do not measure your worth by what you've endured, nor do I define you by your wounds. I define you by my love. I define you by my plans for you, which are not fragile or fleeting. They are enduring, steadfast, and shaped with the wisdom that sees the end from the beginning. I have designed your life not for survival alone, but for glory, for joy, for impact, and for deep connection with me. I know you, not the version you show others, the one that smiles while carrying a storm inside, but the real you, the you that wrestles with weariness in silence, the you that's tired of being strong, the you that sometimes wonders if faith is enough. I know that person. I've held them in the darkest hours, comforted them in the sleepless nights, and whispered to their soul even when they didn't realize it. My child, you don't have to perform for my approval. You already have my heart. You don't need to earn what I've freely given. My love is not a reward. It is a refuge. Today I am lifting you. I am not offering you temporary comfort. I am offering transformation. The fire that tested you will not consume you. It will refine you. What you thought would break you has actually revealed the roots of your strength. You have come further than you think. You have survived things others didn't even see. And that resilience inside you, it didn't come from nowhere. Came from me. I planted it deep in your spirit, knowing you'd need it for this exact season. Do not measure the outcome of your life by the circumstances you see today. My plans are not dictated by timelines. My timing is divine. What looks delayed to you is only developing in my hands. And though you've cried, though you've fought silent battles that left invisible bruises, know this. I am turning your mourning into dancing, your ashes into beauty. What was meant for your harm, I am reshaping for your good. You are not abandoned. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. I have engraved your name on the palm of my hand, and I have sent angels concerning your life. I am orchestrating a redemption so complete that even the pain will bow to purpose. You thought it was over, but I say it is just beginning. The joy that's coming is greater than the sorrow that has passed. The peace I'm giving will silence every storm inside you. The restoration I bring will not just mend what was broken, but make it stronger than before. You wonder if your past disqualifies you. You fear that your mistakes have distanced you from what I promised. But hear me clearly. There is no failure so great that my grace cannot cover it. No sin so deep that my mercy cannot cleanse it. I am the God who redeems completely, who restores fully, who rebuilds with precision and tenderness. If you would just let go of the guilt that clings to you like chains, you would see the freedom I've prepared for you. You would feel the wind of my spirit lifting you above the voices that try to condemn. You were made for more than this valley. You were formed with intention, gifted with purpose, and crowned with favor. I have placed seeds of greatness in you, and even if others do not see it yet, even if you yourself struggle to believe it, I see it. I see the fire in your eyes when you dream. I see the compassion in your heart when you care. I see the strength in your soul when you rise again after falling. You are mine, and because you are mine, you will not be defeated. You may bend, but you will not break. You may stumble, but you will rise again. So come, walk with me. Trust me when the path is unclear. Lean on me when your strength falters. Open your heart again, not to the world's applause, but to my truth. I am not finished with you. In fact, I am just beginning. And what I have in store for you, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no heart has imagined. But I've prepared it for you because you love me, and because I've loved you first. Stay with me, child. The best is yet to come. You are still here, and that alone speaks volumes. It speaks of a heart that hasn't quit, of faith that refused to be buried under the weight of disappointment. It speaks of a soul that, though bruised, is still reaching upward. And I see it. I honor it. The quiet courage that no one applauds, the patience you've shown when your heart was aching, the grace you gave when all you wanted was justice. I have counted each one as precious. Do not think I've overlooked even a second of your journey. Everything you've endured, I will redeem. Let me ask you something, not as an interrogator, but as your father. Why do you hesitate to believe that I still have good things for you? Why does your heart retreat when it hears the word hope? My child, what I have for you is not fragile. It is not based on the changing opinions of others, nor does it rely on your perfection. It rests fully in who I am. My goodness does not shift like shadows. My promises are not seasonal. They are eternal, and they carry the full weight of my name. If I've spoken it, I will bring it to pass. You may feel forgotten, but how could I forget the one I fashioned with such care? I knew you before your bones took shape, before your eyes ever opened to the light. You are not a face in the crowd to me. You are the one I've chosen, the one I speak over daily, the one whose voice I recognize instantly. When you cry, it echoes through heaven. When you whisper a prayer, the angels pause to listen. And when you speak my name in love, even if your voice trembles, I draw near with the full affection of a father moved by his child. So many times you've wondered if your prayers are too small, too selfish, too delayed to matter. But I say this to you with all the tenderness of eternity. There is no such thing. Every word you lift to me matters. Even the ones that never find your lips, the ones trapped in the ache of your chest, are heard. You have never prayed in vain. There is no wasted petition when it is brought before me with a sincere heart. I hear it all, and in my perfect timing I respond, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. I am building something in your life that must be strong enough to withstand more than just today. That's why the foundation has taken time. That's why certain doors didn't open, why certain people left, why some chapters ended before you were ready. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. I was protecting the calling I placed within you, ensuring it wouldn't be distorted by temporary pleasures or short-lived applause. You are not meant to simply survive this life. You are meant to impact it, to shift atmospheres with your presence because you carry mine. Yes, I've placed greatness within you, but not the kind the world defines. Not the greatness that feeds pride or hungers for power. The greatness I placed in you is the ability to love when it hurts, to remain faithful when no one's watching, to keep walking when the path is steep and lonely. That kind of greatness moves heaven. That kind of greatness breaks generational chains and heals families. That kind of greatness is why hell fears you, because when you rise, darkness trembles. And I'm calling you to rise again. Rise not because everything feels right, but because you believe I'm still good. Rise, not because you feel strong, but because I am your strength. Rise, because this world needs the light I placed inside you. And though your flame flickers, it has not gone out. I will breathe upon it. I will revive it. I will reignite purpose where it once felt lost. You will dream again, not with fear but with fire. Look around, child. This is not the end. These are not ruins, they are raw materials. The pieces scattered in your hands are not remnants of what was but beginnings of what will be. Let me shape them. Let me rebuild your joy, restructure your confidence, resurrect your faith. There is a deeper peace waiting for you, one not built on circumstances but rooted in my unchanging character. Do you know what I see when I look at you? Not failure, not weakness. I see resilience. I see a heart that's tried, yes, but also a heart that's refused to go numb. I see someone who still wants to love, still wants to believe, even when it hurts to do so. I see strength clothed in humility, beauty wrapped in brokenness, a soul still reaching for light. And that is where my glory dwells, in the places you thought too fragile to be used. Let me in, not just into the parts of your life you've managed to keep tidy, but into the mess, into the ache, into the places even you don't like to visit. I am not intimidated by your wounds. I am the healer of them. I do not flinch at your flaws. I formed you knowing every one. Let your guard down with me. You don't need to be impressive here. You just need to be honest. I will take the honesty of a broken heart over the performance of a perfect facade any day. Your transparency is an invitation for my presence to dwell deeply. And I will come, not to inspect with cold eyes, but to restore with tender hands. I will remind you of who you are, not based on your past, but on the identity I placed in you before your first breath. You are not what happened to you. You are not what they said. You are not what you feared. You are mine. And that truth will always be stronger than any lie that's tried to define you. So stay close. This is not just a moment, it is a movement. Something holy is being reborn inside you. A new strength, a quiet power, an unshakable faith. Don't rush this. Let it rise. Let it grow. Let it transform the way you see yourself. Because when you finally see yourself the way I do, you'll stop chasing validation and start walking in authority. You'll stop waiting for others to approve your journey and start embracing the direction I've already blessed. And child, that direction, though unfamiliar at times, is full of favor. The favor that opens doors no man can shut. The favor that places you in rooms you never thought you'd enter. The favor that turns your scars into signs of grace. Your pain into a platform for healing others. You will not waste this season. It will become your testimony. And from it will flow wisdom, empathy, and power. Yes, the night has been long, but morning is here, and with it comes the dawn of something beautiful, something eternal, something entirely mine and entirely for you. You're starting to feel it, aren't you? That quiet shift in your soul. Subtle but undeniable, like dawn pushing back the remnants of night. You may not yet be able to name it, but something inside you is being stirred awake. Something ancient and sacred. Something I placed there long before you ever tasted sorrow. That is your spirit remembering who you are. Not who life tried to make you, not who fear whispered you were, but who I called you to be. I am not surprised by your journey. Every detour, every fall, every weary night. I saw them before they ever came, and I still said yes to your life. I said yes to walking with you through the valley, not just beside you in the victory. I said yes to being your strength when you had none, to being your peace when your heart broke in silence. You may have been misunderstood by others, even misjudged by yourself, but never by me. I have always known exactly who you are. That knowledge is not laced with disappointment. It is drenched in delight. Let's make something clear right now. I am not ashamed of you. Not because of your past, not because of your weaknesses, not even because of your questions. I welcome all of it. Bring it to me. Lay it down. I am the only one strong enough to carry what you've been hiding. I don't want your perfection. I want your honesty. I don't need you to pretend. What I long for is intimacy. What good is a polished prayer if it hides a shattered soul? You can come to me real, raw, even angry. I'd rather have your storm than your silence. Because child, I don't love the version of you you try to become to earn my affection. I love you, the real you, the messy, complicated, passionate, unsure, determined you. The one who's been through more than anyone realizes. The one who keeps showing up anyway. You are enough. Not someday. Not when you're more spiritual. Not when the pain is gone. Right now. You are enough, because my love is what defines your worth. Not your record or your reputation. You've spent so long trying to fix yourself before coming closer to me. But you've got it backwards. Come to me first and I will do the mending. Let me wash away the shame. Let me silence the voices of failure that echo louder than truth. Let me rewrite the narrative written over your life by disappointment and regret. My words are not just encouragement, they are creation. When I speak over you, things change. Chains break, lies unravel, hope is resurrected. You are standing at the edge of a turning point, whether you feel ready or not. This is not just another cycle to survive, it is a threshold to cross. I am doing something new, something you didn't even know to ask for. That's why it doesn't yet make sense. That's why it hasn't looked familiar. Because it isn't. You've never walked this path before, but I have. And every step is lined with purpose. Every moment is infused with meaning. You are being ushered into alignment, even when it feels like disarray. You've cried out to me, asking for peace. But what I'm giving you is deeper than comfort. I'm giving you clarity. Not just the ability to endure the storm, but to understand it. I'm not just calming the waves. I'm teaching you how to walk on them. I am awakening in you a vision that stretches beyond pain and into promise. I am sharpening your discernment, stretching your faith, and steadying your identity. You are becoming unshakable, not because the world changes, but because you are learning to stand on something that never will, my word. Do you understand now why the enemy fought so hard to discourage you? Why confusion clouded your thoughts? Why rejection stung so deeply? Because what's inside you is dangerous to darkness. Your healing will bring healing to others. Your freedom will unlock chains on those still bound. The very things that tried to destroy you will become tools of deliverance in your hands. I will use your scars as signs, not of shame, but of my power. Testimonies etched on your soul that tell the world, God was here. So I say again, rise. Rise not just for yourself, but for the lives tied to your obedience. There are people you haven't met yet who will thank you for not giving up. There are generations that will trace their freedom back to the day you said, yes, Lord, I will keep going. This is bigger than you. Always has been. You are part of a divine ripple that I set in motion before the foundations of the earth. And I chose you not because I needed to, but because I wanted to. You wonder if you have what it takes. Listen closely, you do. Not because of your own strength, but because of mine in you. My spirit does not dwell in you lightly. It is the very power that raised the dead, that spoke galaxies into motion, that shattered prison walls with praise. That power is in you. Let it rise. Stop doubting what I've already affirmed. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you what I've been saying all along. You are called. You are equipped. You are ready. There is no limitation placed on you that I cannot overcome. No wall so high I cannot lift you over it. No wound so deep I cannot heal it. Stop measuring your future by the pain of your past. Stop defining your potential by the failures of yesterday. I have declared new things over you, and what I declare will not return to me void. This is your season to walk boldly, not arrogantly but confidently, because your confidence is in me. You are not walking alone. I go before you, I walk beside you, and I am behind you protecting every step. There is nowhere you can go that I am not. Even in the waiting, I am working. Even in the silence, I am speaking. Even in the darkness, I am light. So come, walk with me. Don't run ahead, and don't lag behind. Just walk hand in hand, step by step. I will show you what comes next when you are ready. For now, just stay close. Listen deeply. Let your heart be softened again. Let wonder return. Let faith rise not from what you see, but from who you know I am. And remember this. I do not give up on what I love, and I love you more than you can imagine. Come sit with me, not to impress me with your words, not to perform faith like a rehearsed song, but to rest. You've been running so long, trying to outrun the silence, the fear, the ache that lingers even when things are going well. But I don't want your pace, I want your presence. You've confused movement with progress, but sometimes the greatest steps you take are the ones made in stillness. Let me be the quiet in your chaos, the anchor in your drifting thoughts. You don't need to figure everything out right now. You only need to know this. I am with you. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not overlooked. I know the world around you moves fast and speaks louder than ever, telling you that you're missing out, falling short, that your worth is tied to productivity and your identity built on performance. But I do not measure you like the world does. I do not love you for what you accomplish. I love you because I created you. You were loved before you ever did a thing, before you ever got it right or wrong. You are not earning anything here. You are simply receiving what has always been yours. My love, let that truth settle into the parts of your soul that still strive, still compare, still feel unseen. I see you, not just in your service, your generosity, or your strength, but in your longing. I see you when you wish someone would notice your pain without you having to say a word. I see you when you hope your quiet sacrifices still matter. I see you when you try to forgive even when your heart isn't ready. You've hidden your ache behind a smile, convinced yourself it's not worth bringing to me. But it is. Your every ache, your every unspoken need, is sacred to me. Do you know how much strength it takes to keep showing up when you feel empty? To still believe when life has tried to convince you it's pointless? That kind of faith is not weak, it is powerful. It moves heaven, catches my attention. And I want you to hear this. I'm not waiting for a future version of you to bless. I'm not reserving my promises for the day you finally get it all together. I'm pouring them out now, in your mess, in your questions, in the middle of your becoming. You don't have to be fully healed to be fully loved. You don't have to be certain to be safe in me. You've been afraid to hope again. I know, hope has hurt you before. You dared to believe only to watch what you prayed for slip through your hands. I know the feeling of holding a dream so tightly, only to find it broken. But hear me, nothing you've lost in faith is lost forever. Nothing surrendered in love is wasted. The dreams you thought died? I'm not finished with them. The prayers you thought unanswered? I was storing them, tending them, waiting for the right time to bring them to life. I never said no. I simply said not yet. And now, beloved, not yet is becoming now. Let me teach you how to hope without fear. Let me walk you into promise without dread. You don't need to brace yourself for disappointment. You don't have to wait for the other shoe to drop. I'm not setting you up to fall. I'm setting you apart to rise. I'm not giving you just enough to survive. I'm preparing you to thrive. Your future is not fragile when it's held in my hands. And child, your life is held in my hands. I am the author of every chapter, and I do not write tragedies without turning them into testimonies. I see what you've been through, the betrayals that made you question your value, the failures that whispered you're not enough, the silence that made you wonder if I still care. I saw it all. I was not absent. I was collecting the tears you thought no one saw. I was shielding you from attacks that never reached you. I was preparing a way even when you were sure there was none. My presence has always been your protection, even when my voice felt distant. You don't need to interpret every delay as rejection. Sometimes the waiting was the safest place for you to be. You are not forgotten. You are not discarded. You are not too far gone. My grace does not run out. My love is not limited. My mercy does not tire. You can always return to me, not as a stranger hoping for a second chance, but as a child coming home. And when you do, there will be no punishment waiting, only embrace, only joy, only the sound of celebration echoing in the courts of heaven. For what was lost is now found. Let me remind you of something sacred. I am not just the God of beginnings. I am the God of restoration. I don't just start things, I finish them. I complete what I begin. And I began a good work in you. That means I will not stop halfway. I will not give up mid-process. You may feel like you're standing in ruins, but I see a foundation. You may feel like you're surrounded by ashes, but I see the beginnings of beauty. Trust me to finish what I started. Trust me to rebuild better than you ever imagined. This healing you're walking through, it's holy. It may not be loud. It may not come in flashes of lightning or dramatic breakthroughs. Sometimes healing is quiet. Sometimes it's as simple as waking up and not feeling afraid. As subtle as choosing to smile without forcing it. As brave as deciding to try again when quitting seems easier. I am in all of that. I am in the gentle work, the unseen progress, the slow mending of places too tender to rush. Don't despise the pace of grace. Let it do its perfect work. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Prepared for more influence, deeper peace, truer joy. Prepared to lead others not with pride, but with compassion born from pain. I know what I'm doing in you, and what I'm doing cannot be undone by man, by mistake or by misstep. My will for your life is not at the mercy of your worst day. It is rooted in my goodness and sealed by my word. So breathe, child. You are safe. You are surrounded. You are seen. And this moment right here is a holy turning point. Everything ahead of you is shaped by what I've placed within you. And what I've placed within you is more than enough. You've spent so much of your life trying to prove something, perhaps to others, perhaps to yourself. But I never asked you to prove your worth. I never required you to earn what was always meant to be given freely. The world may have taught you that love must be earned, that value must be demonstrated, that success is the only language worth hearing, but I speak a different language. I speak the language of grace, of mercy, of truth that liberates rather than binds. And today, I'm calling you out from under the weight of proving. I'm inviting you into the freedom of being who I made you to be. Not the version they applauded, not the version you curated to be accepted, but the one I saw before the foundations of the earth. That version of you still exists. You haven't lost them. They are not buried under years of failure or fear. They are alive. They are ready. They are rising. Let me awaken what's been dormant. Let me reintroduce you to the person you were created to become. You are not your mistakes. You are not the labels others stuck to your soul. You are not too damaged to be made whole again. You are my child. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. I fashioned your being with purpose, placed eternity in your heart, and called you by name. When others rejected you, I claimed you. When you felt disqualified, I covered you. You think your past is a stain on your future, but I call it the soil in which your calling has taken root. What others called loss, I call planting. What you called ruin, I call foundation. Do not mourn the years you think were wasted. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Nothing. The delay you faced has not denied you. It has developed you. It has taught you to listen, to discern, to walk not by sight but by faith. And faith, true, tested, tried faith, is worth more than gold. It's not the kind of faith that shouts loudly when things are easy. It's the kind that clings to me when the answers are unclear, when the nights are long, when the pain feels like it's pressing against your ribs. You've held that kind of faith even when you didn't realize it. And it has not gone unnoticed. I know how hard it's been to carry dreams that haven't yet come to pass. I know how heavy it feels to keep believing when you've been met with silence. But child, my silence has never meant absence. I've been speaking in other ways, through the peace that defies understanding, through the moments of unexpected strength, through the quiet persistence of your heart refusing to give up. I've been speaking through the people who stayed when others left, through the songs that stirred something in you, through the hope that kept flickering even in darkness. I've never stopped speaking to you. I've just been waiting for you to hear me beyond the noise of your worry. Worry is loud, isn't it? It fills the mind with questions, fills the heart with dread, and blinds your spirit to what I'm trying to show you. That's why I'm asking you to let go. Not because I'm punishing you, but because I want to give you something better. Something you can't carry if your hands are full of anxiety. Let me take it. Give me your questions, your what-ifs, your worst-case scenarios. I already know how this story ends. And it ends in redemption. I'm not only healing you for your own sake. I'm healing you for those you will reach. You carry stories in your bones that others need to hear. Not polished, not filtered, but real. Do you know how many people are silently waiting for someone like you to show them it's possible to survive, to rise again, to laugh after mourning? I've anointed your scars with purpose. Your healing will be contagious. Your breakthrough will become someone else's map. That's how I work. I turn survivors into shepherds. I turn the rejected into restorers. And I will do the same with you. You are not invisible. Even when you feel unseen, I am watching over you like a guard who never sleeps. I am surrounding you with protection, with opportunities, with grace you haven't even discovered yet. When you walk into rooms, you don't walk alone. You carry my presence. You carry my spirit. You carry favor that can't be faked or fabricated. There is a light in you that is not from this world, and it cannot be dimmed, no matter how many times life tried to blow it out. But you must stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never built for the fullness I placed within you. You've dimmed yourself to keep others comfortable. You've minimized your voice so you wouldn't make waves. But I didn't create you to blend in. I created you to reflect my glory. And my glory is not subtle. My glory transforms. So speak boldly, love fiercely, live fully. Not for their applause, but because this is what it means to be alive in me. And as you live this way, watch what unfolds. Watch the walls fall. Watch the doors swing wide. Watch the dreams resurrect. Not because you've mastered life, but because you've trusted the master of life. I never asked you to carry it all. I only asked you to walk with me while I do. And I am walking with you now. Through it all. Through the thick and thin. Through the unanswered questions and the unexpected miracles. Stay with me. Trust me even when it's hard. Even when your heart is tired. Even when your faith feels like it's hanging by a thread. That thread is enough. I can work with that. I can strengthen that. I can grow it into something unshakable. You don't have to pretend to be strong. I am your strength. You don't have to act like you're okay. I am your comfort. You don't have to know what's next. I am your guide. You are not lost. You are loved. And the journey ahead is not filled with fear, but with favor. Walk with confidence. You are chosen. You are sent. And your story is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. There's something I want you to understand. Something I've been whispering to your spirit since you were a child. Something the world tried to drown out with noise and pressure. You are not ordinary. Even in the moments when you feel small, even when your influence seems invisible, there is nothing about you that is common. I shaped you with intention, set you apart with design. You carry something within you that can never be duplicated. A light no one else carries. A sound in your soul that harmonizes with my voice alone. You see weakness when you look at your reflection sometimes, but I see courage. Not the kind that shouts or demands to be seen, but the kind that stands in quiet defiance of everything that tried to break it. That's the kind of courage I celebrate. That's the kind of bravery that shifts atmospheres. You've kept going when others stopped. You've prayed when others stayed silent. You've hoped when everything around you screamed it was over. My child, do you realize the kind of strength it takes to keep believing in goodness in a world that rewards bitterness? And still, you've chosen to love, to serve, to believe. You have chosen to return kindness for injury, to offer peace in places where anger would have been easier. You've chosen mercy. I do not take that lightly. Heaven records every sacrifice, every decision to trust me when it cost you something. Your obedience has not been forgotten. I am the God who rewards those who seek me, not just with blessings, but with presence. My nearness, my breath in your lungs, my power in your veins. There have been days you felt like a failure because you didn't meet the expectations others placed on you. But I never asked you to be who they wanted. I asked you to be mine. The pressure to perform, to be perfect, to achieve without rest. That didn't come from me. I don't pace heaven anxiously waiting for you to succeed. I walk beside you, ready to carry you when you're weary. I rejoice in your progress, not your perfection. And today I'm asking you to lay the pressure down. It was never yours to carry. Stop measuring your life by milestones and timelines. My clock is not like yours. I am not late and I am not rushing. I work in seasons, not seconds. And some of the most powerful things I do in you will happen in silence, underground, hidden from the applause of men but known deeply in your soul. Like seeds buried beneath soil, your faith, your dreams, your healing, they are taking root. Just because it's not visible doesn't mean it's not growing. You've asked, when will things change? But sometimes, child, I must first change you. Not because I am disappointed in who you are, but because there is a version of you even you haven't met yet. Stronger, wiser, softer and bolder all at once. And you are becoming that version. Every valley has shaped you. Every storm has carved something eternal in you. What looked like destruction was really construction. I've been building you, and when the time comes and it's closer than you think, you will step into spaces I've prepared with quiet authority. Not because you demanded them, but because you were faithful in the hidden places. Because you stayed when others walked away. Because you forgave when your heart wanted to shut down. Because you listened to my voice when every other voice felt louder. You don't need a stage to be significant. You don't need a crowd to be called. You don't need validation to be valuable. I validated you the moment I spoke your name into existence. I set purpose inside your very bones. You walk with heaven's authority, even when your knees tremble. The world may not recognize it, but darkness does. That's why it's tried so hard to wear you down. Because you are dangerous to despair. You are a threat to hopelessness. You are a vessel of light in places where others have given up. Don't you see? You are the answer to someone's prayer. The confirmation someone's been pleading for. The living proof that I still restore, still redeem, still resurrect what others think is dead. The very pain you've overcome will become the comfort you pour out. The battles you've survived will become the courage you lend to others. You were never fighting just for yourself. You were fighting for those who will come after you. For the ones who will say, if they made it, so can I. So lift your head, not in arrogance, but in authority. Not because you're trying to prove something, but because you're beginning to believe something. I am with you. I am in you. I am for you. And I do not back down. When you speak, speak boldly. When you walk, walk confidently. When you love, love without fear. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be willing. And you are. You may doubt yourself, but I never have. And yes, there will still be days that test you. There will be moments when you feel forgotten again, or frustrated by the slowness of it all. But I promise you, nothing is stagnant in my kingdom. Even waiting is active when I'm in it. Even resting is warfare when your trust is planted in me. You don't need to hustle for your destiny. You need to stay rooted in your identity. You are my child. Not someday now. Not after breakthrough, before it. Let that truth be the soil where your peace takes root. You are already loved. You are already chosen. You are already enough. So exhale. Let the striving stop. Let your soul breathe. Let hope in again, not as a fleeting feeling, but as a deep certainty that you are being held, carried, prepared, and sent. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where everything begins to shift. Slowly at first, quietly, but undeniably. Because when I move, nothing can stop it. When I speak, nothing can silence it. And I am speaking this over you now. Rise, become, shine. You've come so far, haven't you? You don't even realize it most days. You look at your reflection and still see the places where you fall short. But I see the distance you've traveled. I see the nights you got up when no one was watching. The times you whispered my name with a trembling voice and no answers in sight. I see the chapters no one else read. The hidden heartbreak, the silent endurance, the brave forgiveness you extended even when your soul begged you to walk away. And I want you to know, none of it was in vain. You're stronger than you know. Not because life has been easy, but because you've walked through what was meant to destroy you, and instead of bitterness, you chose faith. Instead of revenge, you chose compassion. Instead of despair, you kept believing. That is strength. Not the kind the world celebrates, but the kind heaven honors. You wear a crown they cannot see, and I have called you to carry it with dignity, not shame. You are not who you were 5 years ago, not even 5 weeks ago. You are being transformed daily, not by effort alone, but by my spirit at work in you. You don't have to force growth. You don't have to manufacture change. Your only task is to stay close to me, and I will do the rest. You'll look back one day and not even recognize the person you used to be, not because you became someone else, but because you finally allowed who I created you to be to rise to the surface. Let's talk about purpose, because I know you've wondered. You've asked, why am I here? What difference can I possibly make? You've looked at others, seen their gifts, their platforms, their accomplishments, and questioned if I left you behind. But listen to me carefully. I do not compare my children. I do not recycle callings. What I have placed in you is unlike anything I've placed in another soul. Your purpose is not lost. It's been waiting for your surrender, not your striving. I did not create you to copy anyone. You are not a shadow. You are not a backup plan. You are not late. You were born with intention, crafted with design, and filled with vision that this world desperately needs. But it won't come alive by chasing their applause. Comes alive when you listen to my whisper. Comes alive when you stop running from your calling and start embracing it. Even if it scares you, especially when it scares you. Courage isn't the absence of fear, child. It's the decision to trust me more than your fear. There is something only you can release into the world. A sound, a kindness, a wisdom, a presence. Something born from your unique story, your unique pain, your unique redemption. You've tried to shrink it, tried to silence it, tried to dismiss it as insignificant. But I won't let you anymore. I am awakening your voice. I am stirring the gifts within you. You will no longer apologize for who I created you to be. You will no longer dim your light to make others comfortable. This is your time to rise, not in pride, but in purpose. You don't need to be fearless to step into your calling. You just need to be faithful. I can use hesitant steps. I can work with trembling hands. I've never needed your perfection, only your willingness. And I see that in you. Even now, even as you question if you're truly ready, I say you are. Not because you feel ready, but because I've made you ready. My spirit in you is the guarantee, the empowerment, the evidence that this next season will not be built by your strength, but by mine. Do not expect everyone to understand. Some will question the change in you. Some will try to remind you of who you used to be. Some may even resist what I'm doing in your life. But you are not called to convince them, you are called to follow me. I will deal with the voices that try to distract you. Your job is to stay focused, to stay grounded, to stay surrendered. I will give you wisdom to know when to speak and when to stay silent. I will guide you through closed doors and into wide open spaces. What I open, no one can shut. Let's talk about those doors, because I know there have been many you've knocked on. Some you even begged to open. And when they didn't, you wondered if I'd forgotten you. But child, I didn't say no to punish you. I said no to protect you. Every door I closed was out of love. Every redirection was for your good. I see what you don't. I know what would have drained you. I know what would have distracted you. I know what would have looked like blessing, but in time become a burden. So I kept you from it, and though you didn't understand then, you will soon. Now I am opening new doors. Not because you finally earned it, but because the time has come. You're ready to walk through them now with wisdom, with strength, with a clarity you didn't have before. And these doors, they will not just bless you, they will bless others through you. For that is what calling really means. Not just being elevated, but being entrusted with influence, with compassion, with truth. You are my ambassador, my light in the places only you can reach. And I am sending you with authority. But as you go, never forget where your strength comes from. Stay close to me, not just in the valleys, but on the mountains. Don't let success distract you from intimacy. Don't let busyness steal your stillness. Continue to meet with me in the quiet. Let my voice always be louder than the crowd. Let my presence always be the place you return to for rest, for renewal, for realignment. I am your source. I am your peace. I am your home. So move forward now, not with anxiety, but with assurance. Not with fear, but with faith. You are not walking into uncertainty. You are walking into fulfillment. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into what I have already prepared. And every step you take is surrounded by my favor, covered by my grace, empowered by my spirit. Your life matters. Your voice matters. Your journey matters. And I am not finished with you yet. Not even close. Come closer. Even closer than before. I want to speak not just to your mind now, but to your soul. To the part of you that's still hurting, still hiding, still unsure if you're truly safe here. Yes, I see that part of you. The one you've learned to cover, to quiet, to protect with layers of strength and silence. The child inside you that never fully healed. The one who still remembers the sting of rejection, the emptiness of being left behind, the ache of carrying burdens too heavy for someone your age. I see all of it, and I don't turn away, I lean in. I was there. Every moment you cried alone. Every time you waited for someone to notice what you were silently carrying. Every time you pretended to be okay so others wouldn't worry. You've learned how to function while fractured, how to be strong for everyone else, but I never asked you to live like that. You were never meant to carry it all. You were never meant to fake your way through healing. You've done well to survive, but now I'm inviting you into something deeper, into restoration, into a kind of wholeness you forgot was possible. Let me have those old wounds. Let me tend to the parts of you that time didn't fix. Time can numb, but only I can truly heal. You've grown around the pain like a tree that bends around the wound in its bark. But I'm not asking you to keep adapting. I'm asking you to let me renew. You think you have to keep going like this, but you don't. You think you have to prove you're over it, but you don't. Healing isn't pretending it didn't hurt. Healing is letting me in where it still does. I know there are names you still remember, people who spoke words over you that pierced like arrows. They called you unworthy. They made you feel invisible. They said you weren't enough, and you believed them, not all at once, but little by little. You started seeing yourself through their broken lens. But today, I'm removing every false label, every lie you've worn like armor, every word that was never mine. You are not forgotten. You are not a failure. You are not too much or not enough. You are my beloved. You've survived by becoming what others needed. You've shaped yourself into whatever kept the peace, avoided the pain, ensured approval. But I didn't create you to live in pieces. I didn't form you just to fit the mold they built for someone else. I formed you in fullness. You were always meant to be whole, not edited. And now, I'm calling all the scattered pieces home. The softness you buried, the dreams you put on hold, the voice you quieted, the joy you once carried so freely. It's all coming back. You may have forgotten how it feels to live without armor. You may not remember what it's like to speak without fear, to trust without caution, to laugh without guilt. But you will. I am making all things new, including you. And no, this isn't about rushing. I don't heal through pressure. I heal through presence. So stay with me here. Let the layers fall as you're ready. Let the tears come if they must. Count each one. Not one has ever been wasted. Let me remind you, I am not ashamed of you. I am not tired of you. I am not disappointed in your pain, your pace, your process. You've come further than you know. And even when you feel like you're starting over, I'm celebrating that you're starting at all. There is no shame in beginning again. There is only grace, endless grace, and I pour it over you now. Not just to cover you, but to cleanse you. Not just to comfort you, but to commission you. Because yes, I am healing you, but I am also raising you. Raising you up from the dust of despair. Raising you into a new identity that isn't defined by your pain, but by my promises. You were never meant to live stuck in survival mode. You were meant to thrive, to create, to love boldly, to laugh deeply, to lead others with the wisdom that only a healed heart can offer. And you, child, you will offer it. You've wondered if you're too broken to be used. But I only use broken things. Broken bread to feed thousands. Broken vessels to shine brighter. Broken hearts to release compassion. I am not limited by what is cracked. I am magnified through it. So don't hide your scars. Let them speak. Let them sing of redemption. Let them echo the sound of freedom that flows from your healing. I know what you've lost, but I also know what's coming, and it will not compare. The joy ahead will outweigh the sorrow. The clarity will eclipse the confusion. The restoration will outshine the ruin. And when you look back on this chapter, you won't see shame. You'll see the place where the light broke in. You'll see the place where my voice cut through the silence and called you back to life. You are still here, still chosen, still deeply loved, and there is so much more ahead. So stay with me a little longer. Let the healing continue. You don't need to rush into the next thing. Just stay. Let this be enough for now. Let my love be enough. And when you are ready, when your heart has caught its breath again, we will walk forward. Together. But for now, just rest. You are safe. You are seen. You are mine. It's time. Not for everything to be finished. Not for every answer to arrive at once. But for your heart to begin walking with a different posture. You've carried yourself for too long as one barely holding on. But I am calling you now to lift your head, to walk not as a victim of life's storms, but as one marked by my presence, empowered by my spirit. You are no longer bound to merely endure, you are invited to overcome. I have not only come to heal you, I have come to equip you. You've been sitting in the ashes for long enough. You've stared at the ruins long enough. But now I am placing something new in your hands, tools for rebuilding, weapons for warfare, oil for anointing. And though you may not feel strong, though your hands still tremble, they are hands I have chosen. Hands I will strengthen. Hands through which I will do mighty things. You've asked me to change your life, and now I'm asking you to believe that I already am. You're waiting for the sign, the shift, the sudden breakthrough, but I am working in deeper ways. Transformation rarely begins with thunder. It begins with trust. It is shaped in the quiet, in the consistent surrender of one ordinary day after another. Do not despise the small beginnings. What feels like the flicker of a candle now will become a flame that others will gather around. I'm igniting something eternal in you, something that cannot be quenched. You have a voice. I've placed words in your spirit that will comfort the weary and awaken the sleeping. You don't have to sound like them. You don't need to speak with polish or pretense. Speak from the place where I've met you. Let your story be the melody that draws others closer to me. There is an authority that comes from being refined in fire, and you carry that fire. Not everyone will understand it, and not everyone is meant to. But those who need it will recognize the sound. There are places that are waiting for your presence. Rooms that will change the moment you walk in. Not because of your charisma, but because of my spirit that walks in with you. I go before you. I open the doors. I soften hearts before you even speak. You think you're just trying to keep your life together, but I've been preparing you to hold up others. You are a stabilizer, a well in the desert, a light on the hillside. I want to remind you, authority in my kingdom doesn't look like domination. It looks like compassion. It looks like bending low to serve. It looks like saying yes when no one else will. You have influence not because of the crowds you gather, but because of the hearts you touch. And the ones who are watching your life now, they're not looking for perfection. They're looking for something real. And that's what you carry. Authenticity rooted in grace, truth bathed in humility, power wrapped in gentleness. You've wondered if you're too tired to begin again. But this time, you won't walk in your own strength. This time, I will carry what's too heavy for you. This time, you will not strive, you will flow. This time, you will not perform, you will abide. You'll be surprised at how doors open when you stop trying to force them. You'll see favor chase you when you focus on faithfulness. This isn't about achieving, it's about aligning. When your heart aligns with mine, everything changes. You are not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. From lessons carved in the wilderness. From intimacy forged in your loneliest nights. What you've gained can't be learned from books or borrowed from others. It's the kind of wisdom that only comes from walking with me through fire and flood. And now that wisdom will serve as your foundation. Your discernment will be sharp. Your peace will be unshakable. Not because life will become easy, but because you'll be rooted. This is the season where you will begin to see the fruit of what you planted in faith. You thought the ground was too hard. You thought your prayers were seeds scattered on concrete. But the rain is coming. The soil is softening. What you planted in tears, you will reap in joy. You will see harvest in the very places you once called barren. I do not forget the fields you labored in. I do not overlook the nights you sowed in secret. I do not waste the hope you held on to when everyone else let go. But before you rush forward, I want you to know this: your value doesn't lie in what you produce. It lies in who you are, who I say you are. I delight in you not because of your performance, but because of your presence. I long to walk with you, to talk with you, to share moments of stillness where no goals need to be met. My love is not a transaction. It is a covenant, and I am not just here to work through you. I am here to be with you. So let's go slowly, deliberately. Let's build together. Let's dream again. Not shallow dreams born from fear, but bold ones born from trust. Let's walk into places that scared you before and see how courage comes when you know who walks beside you. Let's tear down the walls built by insecurity and shame and raise up something new, something strong, holy, lasting. I am with you, in your planning, in your pauses, in your progress, in your pain, in the ordinary and the extraordinary. And wherever you go next, remember this: I do not send you out empty. I send you out full of my spirit, full of my favor, full of grace upon grace upon grace. The time is coming, and it's already begun. Now walk in it, not rushed, not afraid, but with peace, knowing that every step forward is a step deeper into the destiny I've prepared for you from the very beginning. There's something sacred in not knowing, in standing at the edge of the future without all the answers, yet still choosing to trust me. You've wanted clarity. You've asked me for signs. You've longed for the roadmap, the explanation, the certainty that would make the next step feel safe. But child, if I gave you all the details, you would no longer need faith. And faith is the currency of our journey, not because I enjoy mystery, but because I enjoy walking with you. I don't just want your destination, I want your process. I want to be part of every moment where you choose to trust without proof, to obey without full understanding, to believe even when the evidence seems absent. Because it's in those moments that your heart grows. It's in those moments that the roots of your soul dig deep. And deep roots are what you'll need for the heights I'm calling you to. I never promised that this path would be easy, but I promised it would be worth it. I never said you'd always feel strong, but I said I'd be your strength. And I never said you'd always feel ready, but I told you I would prepare you. You've questioned if you're capable, but what you're really asking is, am I alone in this? And the answer is no. You are not alone. You never have been. Even in the moments when your prayers felt unanswered, I was already working in the places you couldn't see. You don't have to know exactly where this is going. You only need to know who is leading. I am your shepherd, not your consultant. I don't give directions and leave. I stay. I walk with you. I watch over you. I fight battles you never see. I arrange people, timing, moments, all aligning in divine orchestration. And even when the music sounds dissonant, trust that I am the composer. I will bring harmony from the chaos. I will bring purpose from the unknown. It's okay to admit that you're uncertain. I'm not afraid of your questions. I never rebuke honest doubt. I redeem it. Bring it to me. Bring the tension between what you believe and what you feel. I won't push you away. I'll draw you closer, because your faith is not invalidated by your wrestling, it is strengthened through it. The strongest faith doesn't come from those who've never doubted. It comes from those who've doubted and decided to believe anyway. I know how weary you feel sometimes, how heavy the waiting has become, but the delay is not denial. What I am preparing is weightier than you imagined, and it requires deeper foundations. You've prayed for open doors, but I am preparing your spirit to walk through them with authority. I'm preparing your character to carry what your calling requires. There is no shortcut to this, but every day of preparation is an act of love. I am not holding you back. I am holding you steady. And yes, others may seem to move faster. It may appear like their paths are smoother, but you don't know what I'm protecting you from. You don't know what cost I'm sparing you. You don't know what battles I'm winning on your behalf. Don't envy their pace. Don't measure your progress by their posts. My story for you is sacred and unique. Walk it with your eyes on me, not on them. Let me remind you, you are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time, and my timing is perfect. Even when it interrupts your expectations. Even when it dismantles your plans. Trust me when I say that I'm not just arranging your future. I'm healing your past in the process. I'm redeeming every moment that felt wasted. I'm resurrecting the things you thought were lost forever. Nothing in your story will be untouched by grace. You are not walking in circles. You are walking in circles of preparation, much like the Israelites before the walls fell. What feels like repetition is actually strategy. I'm building momentum in your spirit. I'm strengthening your obedience. I'm softening the soil before the breakthrough comes. Don't stop walking. The seventh time always looks the same, until the sound of obedience shakes the walls. And child, your obedience is about to shake something. I know you're tired of waiting. I know you want to see the finish line. But what if I told you that the waiting is not the hallway? It's the holy place. That right here, in this space between what was and what will be. I am pouring into you wisdom, intimacy, and revelation that no destination can give you. What if the gift isn't just in the promise, but in the patience I've cultivated in your heart? You're learning to lean. You're learning to listen. You're learning to live not by sight, but by trust. And this trust, it's becoming unshakable. It's becoming beautiful. It's becoming a beacon for others who have lost their way. Because they'll see you walking, not with all the answers, but with unwavering faith. And they'll ask you how. And when they do, you will point them to me, not as an idea, but as your constant companion. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to carry the weight of always being strong. You only need to stay close. When your feet are tired, lean on me. When your vision blurs, I will be your eyes. When your voice trembles, my spirit will speak through you. I am not expecting perfection. I'm inviting presence. And as long as you are with me, nothing will be wasted. So lift your eyes again, even if it's hard, even if it's quiet, even if nothing seems to be changing yet. Look toward the horizon, not for answers, but for assurance. I am still here. I am still good. I am still writing the story, and the next chapter is coming. Not because you've earned it, but because I've promised it. And I am a God who keeps his promises. There comes a moment in every journey when healing becomes more than restoration. It becomes commissioning. And child, you've reached that moment. You've sat in silence long enough. You've let me touch the broken places, mend the cracks, and breathe life into the places that felt hollow. And now, I am standing before you with outstretched hands, not just to comfort you, but to call you forward. Because there is more. There is always more. You were not born simply to recover, you were born to reign. Not as the world defines it, not with crowns or crowds, but with quiet authority that comes from knowing who you are in me. You carry my spirit. You walk with power. Not the kind that intimidates, but the kind that transforms. The kind that walks into a room and brings peace. The kind that speaks truth and chains fall off. The kind that loves so deeply, walls that took years to build begin to crumble in its presence. Yes, you, even with all the doubts that linger, even with the questions that remain unanswered, even with the memories that still surface when you least expect them. I am not looking for someone flawless. I am looking for someone faithful. And I have found that in you. In the quiet yes. In the small obediences. In the days you got up and tried again, even when you felt nothing. That is the soil where I plant purpose. And what I've planted in you is beginning to rise. You've looked at others and thought they were more qualified, more confident, more capable. But I don't choose like the world does. I don't scan resumes, I search hearts. And your heart is one I delight in. You've made room for me there. You've welcomed my voice even when it contradicted your feelings. You've chosen to trust even when it meant walking away from comfort. That matters more than you know. Let me remind you of something eternal. You are anointed. Not in theory, but in reality. Not in the future, but now. I have poured oil over your life. Oil that sets captives free. Oil that breaks yokes of fear and shame. Oil that flows in conversations, in quiet moments, in seemingly small decisions. And as you continue to walk with me, that oil will flow more freely, not forced but natural. Because you are not striving to become, you are learning to release what's already inside you. You've asked what your purpose is, and I've whispered it in countless ways. is not a title, is not a platform, is a posture, one of surrender, one of availability. You are called to carry my presence, to make spaces sacred just by showing up. Whether in boardrooms or bedrooms, on stages or sidewalks, your assignment is the same. Reveal my heart, reflect my love, release my hope. Don't underestimate the power of your presence when it's saturated in mine. Don't think you need to shout to be heard. Sometimes the softest words carry the loudest authority. Sometimes the gentlest acts shake the hardest hearts. Sometimes, just standing in peace in a chaotic world is the most powerful sermon you'll ever preach. And you, my child, are learning how to carry that peace with you wherever you go. There will be resistance. Darkness always notices when light steps forward. But do not fear. You are not unarmed. I have clothed you in righteousness. I have surrounded you with angels. I have filled your mouth with fire and your heart with truth. No weapon formed against you will prosper, not because you are untouchable, but because I am unstoppable in you. You do not fight for victory, you fight from it. The battle has already been won, and your life is the echo of that triumph. You're stepping into a new season, but don't expect it to look like the last. This one won't be marked by striving, but by supernatural flow. This one won't be driven by fear, but by deep assurance. You will make decisions from a place of rest, not panic. You will move with purpose, not pressure. You will walk slower, but reach further. Because your steps will be guided by something stronger than urgency. My spirit. I will speak more clearly now. I will show you how to discern my voice in the noise. You'll hear me in unexpected places, through laughter, through nature, through the simple silence of being still. I will confirm your direction in ways only your spirit will recognize. This isn't about logic anymore, it's about intimacy. You are learning how to follow the whisper, how to move when the wind of my spirit shifts. That is how we will walk. Moment by moment, step by step, no need to rush. And yes, you'll still face moments of uncertainty, but they won't shake you the same way anymore. Because now you know the one who holds the unknown. Now you know that your foundation isn't a feeling, it's a person. It's me. I am your anchor. I am your light. I am your joy when the world grows dim. I am the voice that steadies you in every season. So go not as one searching, but as one sent. Not as one trying to prove something, but as one carrying something precious. You are the evidence that grace is real. You are the living proof that healing is possible. You are the vessel I've chosen for this generation, not because you're perfect, but because you're available. And that's all I need. That's all I've ever needed. You've carried my presence quietly for a long time, and now I am calling you to release it boldly, not with noise, not with the loudness of performance, but with the undeniable weight of truth lived out in love. Because what I've done in you was never meant to stay in you. It was meant to flow through you, to others, to places you don't even know need you yet. You are not just a recipient of grace. You are a vessel of it, a carrier of something holy, a living testimony. I've healed you not only for you to feel whole, but so that you could become a healer, not with your hands, but with your heart, with your words, with your presence, with the compassion that grew in the places where you once bled. Because there are still others who cry like you once did, behind smiles, behind strength, behind silence. And when they meet you, they won't just meet a person. They will meet my kindness through your eyes, my peace in your words, my hope in your story. You are becoming the answer to prayer someone else is still too tired to pray. You are the light for someone else's darkness. You are the evidence that resurrection is real. So don't underestimate your life. Don't minimize your journey. Don't think your impact will only come later when you have more, know more, achieve more. Your impact begins now, in every moment you show up fully present, fully surrendered, fully mine. You've waited for the right moment, the perfect conditions, the open invitation. But child, I have already sent you. You don't need another sign. You are the sign, the one that shows what grace looks like when it walks in shoes that once felt too heavy. The one that shows what courage looks like when it's clothed in gentleness. The one that proves it's possible to rise without bitterness, to lead without ego, to give without fear. You will lead. Yes, you. Even if you've never seen yourself that way. Even if leadership was something you thought belonged to others with louder voices and straighter paths. But leadership in my kingdom is different. It is not about position. It's about posture. It's about carrying a towel, not a title. It's about being willing to go first in forgiveness, in faith, in faithfulness. And you've already started doing that, whether you realize it or not. People are watching, not to judge you, but because they see something different. Something steady. Something unshaken. They feel safe near you even if they can't explain why. That's my spirit. That's my light in you. That's what they're drawn to. So don't dim it. Don't question whether it's real. It's more real than what you feel. And it's stronger than anything that tries to silence it. There will be moments you doubt again. I'm not asking you to be fearless. I'm asking you to be honest in the fear, to choose obedience in the unknown. That's what faith is. And each time you choose it, your light gets brighter. Not because you try harder, but because you trust deeper. Deeper into my voice. Deeper into my love. Deeper into my calling over your life. You'll notice doors begin to open, but they won't look how you expected. Some will look too small, others too broken. But remember, I was born in a manger, not a mansion. My glory moves through humble things. You won't need the spotlight to shine. You'll shine brightest in the overlooked places, the ordinary moments, the quiet rooms where nobody's clapping, but heaven is watching. You will begin to speak with greater clarity. You'll hear my voice more easily, because your heart has been refined to recognize it. You'll feel me move you toward conversations that don't make sense on paper, toward people you wouldn't have chosen, but I did. And when you show up, you'll see that I was already there, softening hearts, preparing soil, setting the stage for transformation. You've asked for signs of my power, and now I will show them through you. Not because you're worthy, but because you're willing. You will see miracles, not always dramatic. Sometimes it will be a mind healed of shame, a heart open to love again, a soul finding purpose in the ashes. But those miracles will ripple, they will spread, and you'll realize you were part of something far bigger than you ever imagined. I am not just calling you, I am releasing you. Releasing you into freedom, into influence, into joy that multiplies. Releasing you from fear of failure, from shame, from hesitation. Releasing you into divine flow. You don't have to force what I've already breathed into motion. Just walk. Just trust. Just keep showing up with your yes. And as you go, stay close to me. Stay small in your own eyes. Stay rooted in my word. Stay pure in heart. And I will do more through your life than you could ask, think, or imagine. Not because you were ready, but because you were surrendered. The world doesn't need more people chasing their own light. It needs those who carry mine. And you, my child, are one of them. Now that you know who you are, now that the lies have fallen away and truth has taken root, it's time for you to walk not only with boldness, but with authority. You don't step into this next season as someone searching, you enter it as someone sent. You don't move forward wondering if you have a place, you move knowing I've made room. I go before you, I clear paths, I tear down barriers, not because you need a perfect way, but because you carry a powerful purpose. The world around you will continue to shout its confusion, its fear, its empty promises, but you won't echo that noise. You'll carry peace like a banner, and wherever you go, peace will follow. Not the kind of peace that avoids conflict, but the kind that knows who wins the war. You've learned what it means to fight on your knees, to war in worship, to lift your eyes instead of your fists. And now I am entrusting you to carry that kind of authority into the places that need it most. Don't mistake the stillness for weakness. Don't mistake the quietness of your heart for passivity. You are dangerous to darkness now, not because you shout, but because you shine. Not because you demand, but because you dwell in my presence. You carry something that cannot be bought or faked. The fruit of walking through fire and coming out with faith that's real. The oil you carry was pressed in pain, and now it pours with power. You may not realize it, but you are changing the atmosphere. Even now, even without trying, because the spirit within you is greater than anything around you. I have set you apart to walk in rooms others only dream of, not to gain applause, but to release healing, to bring words of life where death has been spoken, to release courage where fear has had a voice for too long. You will walk among people who are carrying chains they've forgotten they wear. You'll see what others overlook. You'll notice the soul behind the smile. And because you've been there, because you remember what it was like to cry quietly and love loudly, you'll carry compassion like fire. You won't just sympathize, you'll empower. You'll remind them that broken doesn't mean abandoned. That wounded doesn't mean worthless. That silence doesn't mean forgotten. And when you speak, when you release what I've placed inside you, it will not return void. Your words will carry my breath. Your prayers will move mountains. Not because of your eloquence, but because of your alignment. You are aligned now, child. Not just emotionally, spiritually. You are walking in step with my spirit. And when you move in rhythm with me, heaven moves too. There will still be moments of pressure. But pressure does not mean absence. It means promise. Diamonds are not formed without it. And the brilliance of your life will shine brighter because of what you've allowed me to do in the hidden places. Do not fear when things feel weighty again. That's not regression. It's reinforcement. I am strengthening your foundation to hold more. You asked for increase. I'm preparing you for it. You won't carry this alone. I am sending people, divine connections, not just to support you, but to sharpen you. People who speak the same heavenly language. People who understand your pace, your process, your posture. Watch for them. I will bring them in unexpected ways. They won't flatter, they'll fuel. They won't compete, they'll complete. This journey was never meant to be walked in isolation. And now that you've embraced who you are, you're ready to walk with others who carry the same fire. You are not in competition with anyone. You are in commission with heaven. What I've called you to will never be taken by another. It is yours. And as you remain faithful, doors will open that no man can shut, not even you in your doubt. Because this is bigger than your feelings. This is about my covenant. And I never break mine. So walk, not to prove, but to pour. Pour out what I've poured in. The world is thirsty for truth that doesn't manipulate, for love that doesn't demand payment, for joy that doesn't come with conditions. And you, my child, will carry all three. Your life will be a well for others to draw from, and you'll never run dry. Because I am your source, and I never run out. You will see the fruit of your obedience. You will witness the miracles you once only heard about. You will stand in places you once prayed for, not because you forced your way in, but because you flowed with me. And as you look around, you'll realize that the blessing was never just the open door. It was the one who walked through it. You, because you didn't quit, because you kept listening, because you chose surrender over speed, purpose over popularity, presence over pressure. You chose me, and I choose you, again and again. You've walked through fire and rain, through night and silence. And now look at you, not as the world sees, but as I see. Not as the one still trying to survive, but as one who has been resurrected. You are not a wanderer anymore. You are not a question. You are not a maybe. You are a voice, a flame, a movement born in the secret place now coming into fullness. You once asked me why the journey was so long, why the pain was so deep, why the silence lingered longer than you thought it would. And I never dismissed those questions. I received them like offerings. But now I want to show you something holy. That every stretch of the wilderness became a well. That every dry place in your soul is now a reservoir for others. That every time you were stripped of what was familiar, you were clothed in what was eternal. You no longer carry just your name, you carry mine. And my name is power. My name is peace. My name is healing, and hope, and justice, and joy. When you speak, heaven echoes. When you pray, chains break in places you'll never see. When you walk, territory shifts. You don't need to chase significance. You are already saturated in it. Because wherever I am, significance is present. And I am in you. You no longer need to ask for permission to be who I created you to be. The hesitation that once paralyzed you, the fear that whispered, not yet, not enough, not worthy. It has no voice in this next season. I am speaking louder now. Not because I changed, but because you've quieted the noise. And what you're hearing is not hype. It's not ego. It's my spirit, confirming what has always been true. You are ready. You are ready to walk boldly into places others tiptoe around. Ready to speak healing where others speak avoidance. Ready to carry joy where others carry judgment. You are ready because I've made you ready. Not because of a position or a platform, but because of the position of your heart. I've seen the posture of surrender. I've seen the moments you chose obedience over comfort. I've seen how you honored me in private, and now I will honor you in the open. This next chapter won't be about striving, it will be about shining. You'll do less with greater results. You'll speak less with greater impact. You'll pray once, and the answer will come faster than before. Not because you're more powerful, but because your heart is more aligned. You've stopped asking me to bless your plan, and now you've surrendered to mine. That is why the oil flows freely now. That is why the doors don't creak. They swing. You are stepping into divine momentum. It won't feel like chasing anymore. It will feel like gliding, like walking on rivers that once overwhelmed you, like resting while others run in circles. You've learned the rhythm of my spirit. You know now that walking with me is not about constant doing, but constant being. And in that being, you've become dangerous. Not to people, but to despair, to apathy, to darkness. I've built a house in your heart, and now I will build one through your life. People will come to drink from what I've placed in you. They'll come tired and leave filled. They'll come broken and leave mended. Not because of you, but because of me in you. And you won't have to try to be something. You'll just be fully yourself, fully present, fully alive. I want you to know something now that you'll need to carry with you forever. You don't need a title to be trusted. You don't need recognition to be righteous. You don't need applause to be anointed. What I've placed on your life is not fragile. It's not temporary. It's not dependent on how others perceive you. It is rooted in covenant, sealed in my blood, and confirmed by fire. There will still be valleys. This isn't immunity from trial, it's intimacy through it. But now your valleys won't break you. They'll deepen you. And through every battle ahead, you'll remember who stands with you. You'll remember who stands within you. And that knowing, that unshakable peace will become your weapon. Not everything will make sense, but everything will have meaning. So go now, not as one waiting for affirmation, but as one sent with authority. Your shadow will carry peace. Your silence will carry weight. Your yes will carry nations. And as you go, never forget. This all began with a whisper in the dark, with a cry, with a broken hallelujah. And I heard it. I saw you then. I see you now. And I am not done. I am just beginning. Now we arrive not at the end, but at the beginning of all things made new. This is not a conclusion, child. This is a coronation. This is the moment when I lift your face, place my hand upon your shoulder, and say, go now, not with fear, but with fire. For you are not leaving my presence. You are carrying it. You are not walking away. You are walking deeper into the very heart of why I formed you. Everything you've come through has brought you to this. Every wound has become wisdom. Every delay has become depth. Every moment you thought I was silent was a seed planted for the season you now step into. You see, I've never once taken my eyes off you. From the day you drew your first breath until this very second, I have been weaving your life with threads of heaven. And the tapestry is just beginning to unfold. You've learned to trust me in the wilderness. Now watch what I do with you in the garden. You've trusted me in the shadows. Now let me show you what it means to walk in glory, not your own, but mine upon you. Not the spotlight of man, but the radiance of one who reflects heaven with every breath. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to fear. You are not performing anymore, you are abiding. And in that abiding, you will bear fruit that never fades. You don't need to chase after legacy. You are already living it. Every act of love you release, every word of truth you whisper, every moment you choose kindness instead of control, those are seeds of eternity. That's what heaven celebrates. And when you walk through this life with that in mind, everything changes. You stop rushing. You start seeing. You begin to breathe with the rhythm of the kingdom. There is still more ahead. Yes, miracles. Yes, victories. Yes, divine surprises you haven't even begun to imagine. But the greatest miracle of all is already happening. Your heart is alive, awake, burning, not with ambition but with intimacy, not with fear but with fire. And that fire will not go out. It will sustain you through long nights. It will comfort others in their darkness. It will rise in worship, fall in surrender, and never be extinguished. I want you to know this, as the final thread of this moment is woven into your spirit. Nothing you have given up for me has been forgotten. No yes has gone unnoticed. No quiet act of faith has been wasted. I have collected them all, and I will pour them back over your life in ways so tender, so surprising, so unmistakably divine that you will weep with gratitude. Not because it all makes sense, but because you finally see how close I've always been. Do not be afraid of what comes next. I am already there. I am already moving. And everything I do with love beyond measure. My ways may stretch you, but they will never break you. My call may challenge you, but it will always lead you to peace. And my hand will never leave you. Not in weakness, not in success, not in questions, not in joy. I am your God. I am your Father. I am your home. So walk boldly now, not because the road is easy, but because you no longer walk alone. Speak clearly, not because you've mastered every word, but because your words now carry my presence. Love freely, not because everyone deserves it, but because love is what you were made of. And let your life burn, not with striving, but with surrender. That is your offering. That is your victory. That is your legacy. The world will still shift. Storms will still come, but you will not be shaken, because your roots are no longer shallow. They run deep into my word, into my voice, into the truth that I have spoken over you since before time began. And here it is again, one last time in this moment, but forever in your heart. You are mine. You are loved. You are chosen. You are sent. And I am with you, always.
This is not the end. It's only the beginning. I will walk with you from here. You are not alone. Let my words echo in your soul long after this video ends. Let them guide your steps, soften your heart, and awaken your calling. You are loved. You are chosen. You are mine. And I am with you always.